This week on Comedic Confessions.
I spent 10 days in jail, and then I used my mugshot on my Tinder profile.
Ooh!
One time, I dated this guy for 6 weeks so I could outbid his aunt on a doll on Craigslist.
Whoa!
Wow! I got the worst black eye you've ever seen by getting punched by an 8th grade girl.
Oh my God!
One time, I showed up to a job interview, and the man interviewing me had a photo of him and his dad on the desk, and I had fricked his dad 6 weeks earlier.
Oh no! Folks, welcome back to Comedic Confessions. Woo! Oh wait,
Yay.
Applause button. There it is. Woo! Wow, big time. I'm here today with two fellow comics, Lacee Rains and Will Burnson. How y'all doing?
Good, so good. How are you?
Beautiful. Wow, this is two beautiful people right here.
Oh my God.
Why are we even telling stories? Hey, folks, if you're not watching the video of this episode, you're missing out on body goals, face goals, charisma goals.
If this
hair
could just,
goals for Will.
If this could just be how the rest of the podcast goes,
Yeah, just
my ego
compliments only.
will love it.
No, this is two of the funniest people I know. They've submitted a number of juicy confessions. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix them up. Comedic Confessions will begin. Are you guys ready to play?
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Okay.
play.
I'm
Here we
ready
go.
to
I'm
play
gonna mix 'em
Comedic
up.
Confessions.
Let's get it.
It's Lacey's.
Oh,
Here we go.
yeah.
All right.
I can't believe this is the first one that we drew.
Oh, boy.
Okay. One time I showed up
Wait,
to...
you got to read it out so we know the...
Okay. One time I showed up to a job interview, and the man interviewing me had a photo of him and his dad on the desk, and I had fricked his dad 6 weeks earlier.
Oh, no!
Oh my.
May I say my favorite detail? Fricked.
Is this we're a clean podcast. I want to make sure that we're aware of this.
That is really funny.
Wow, you are talking about fricking a guy's dad, but still somehow saving enough room for Jesus in here.
Yeah.
We're staying clean.
I love when you say something mischievous, you're like...
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
awesome.
I
Okay,
cannot
yeah.
wait to hear
Yeah,
this
tell
story.
us the
I have so many
story.
questions, but I'm like, I need to hold them in
Yeah.
and see.
So,
Let's see where this goes.
so I want to just tell the story?
Yeah, go for it. And then we'll
Okay.
jump in if we have thoughts or questions.
Incredible, incredible. So,
Also, when can my son interview you?
I'll let you know whenever I'm looking for employment again.
Okay, good. I'm going to get you fired today.
So I had met this like guy at a bar a few times, and we exchanged like numbers, whatever. And one night he sent me a message and was like, "Do you want to come over?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." I was in a mood. I was like, I'm in a mood. And he sent me his address, and I looked up the house online. I was like, I'm going
Oh,
to
there
this
we
house. There's a
go.
pool in the backyard. I was like, oh, I'm on the way. So we hooked up. He's older. It was really fun. We talked about his
I'm
life.
sorry, I have to ask. Like, you say older. I mean, I'm assuming older. Is the guy that interviewed, was he like super young, or is his dad? Are you just like,
No,
yo,
his
this guy
dad
was
was
55 but
yeah, I mean,
successful?
his dad probably
He had a
was, like-
pool and I was trying to take a dip.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 55 and 30, that kind of range?
Yeah, the dad was probably closer. Yeah, we'll say 55. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Much older than that, and I'm like, she wants Medicare.
Listen, it's a retirement plan.
It is.
It's a strategy.
The Medicare will be gone by the time we're getting it, so we got to get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in where you can,
Yeah.
you know?
But I mean, hot old man with pool. What was I going to do? I'm just a human, you
That's
know?
true.
Honestly, I
what
would-
could I have done in this situation different?
That's true.
So I had no choice, obviously.
And everything, it was good, and everything went good.
Yeah, it was a fun time. We had great. I mean, it was great. It was
I mean,
great.
like, did he ever? I mean, like, I have to know. I've never been in that kind of thing. Was
you've
there
never
ever
fucked
a
an old
mention?
man?
Yeah, I've never fucked an old man, especially not one with the pool.
Oh,
Yeah.
only kind.
Although-
You said pool, hot tub. They have a sauna combo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's gonna be
I
good.
don't know if he
Mayor
was
of
like, you want to go
Tulsa.
from hot tub to ice bath to hot tub to ice bath, I would be like,
keeps it exciting.
yeah, I'll do whatever I have to try that.
Yeah, yeah. you
That
know?
is pretty cool.
Gotta keep your head in the game.
Yeah, so, yeah, like did he ever acknowledge the age gap? Or was he just like, we're just two people?
No, yeah, he was a little weird about it, honestly. and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'm here, so obviously, like, I'm also into this, but I don't know. It's just like you can't point it out, right? You can't focus on it because it's too weird. Like,
Okay.
listen,
Fair.
no. But yeah, he was a creepy old man a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
he was hot, but like still like a lusty old guy, you know? Like, how cool can you really
Oh my
be?
God, I have not heard a 55-year-old plus man described as lusty before.
Oh, they are.
I think a lot of them
Lusty,
are.
lusty.
Yeah.
I think the last time I heard the word lusty was in, like, I used to play this RPG called Skyrim, if you ever know it. And there's a book called The Lusty Argonian Maid, and it's like these little pervy neck beards to read to really immerse themselves in it.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so you were with this lusty,
this lusty old man with no impulse control, my favorite kind. Where freaking Greg's telling me about his kids and shit. It's cute. I'm like, sick. We say goodbye. I like leave. We don't really talk anymore because what else is there to do at that point? Like until it gets hot again and I want back in the pool.
True.
Maybe we can go after this. It's pretty hot today.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Call him up.
Yeah, right. Oh, I almost just said his name. So, anyways, we can't do that. So, a few weeks later, like 6 weeks later, I go to interview at this bank to be a teller.
Nice.
And I walk in to the little job interview, and there's this guy sitting there, and he's also really hot. And I was like, damn. But then I see the photo of like him and his mom and his dad in the background, and I'm like,
Hold on. Because at the beginning you only mentioned him and his dad, and now we're hearing about
there's a
mom.
well, so there were signs of a wife in the house. But I asked. I was like, oh, is this allowed? Are you guys open? Like, what's the situation? And he said that his wife keeps him on a very long leash.
That's the creepiest way for a lusty man to be like, I'm cheating.
That's what I mean, they're lusty old men. But here's the thing. I asked, and if you lie, that's what can I do?
That's true.
I mean,
nothing you can do.
But here's the thing. That was not girls behavior of me. I would not do that now. But
also, I mean,
really
again, I would not hold you responsible for that still.
So.
Wow. So picture him,
imagine
mom,
you're, like, in, like, a
dad.
bank. Yeah, you see
Okay,
it.
question. Dad never mentioned that he had this successful son that works at a bank.
No, I mean, he talked about his son. Like, we talked about his, like, kids and, like, his shit, whenever we were done.
Because I want to know if he was proud of his son, if he was like, nah, he's just my trash son. He can't afford a pool, so.
He talked more about his daughter, obviously. Like, he was way more proud of her. But
I noticed that you didn't put the daughter in the photo. So
I'm noticing
a lot of people missing in this family.
So, but he did talk about his kids, because I think they had another one, too, if I remember correctly. But he talked about his daughter. He talked about his son. I knew his son worked in finance. Had no idea, like, what the situation was. And I'd been trying to get back into, like, finance and like accounting type adjacent work. So I was like, I'm gonna go to a bank, and I walk in and see that photo, and then I'm like sitting in the interview, and I'm like, do I like finish this interview? Like, do I tell him? Like, this is so awkward.
tough,
and like the whole time I'm comparing him to his dad in my head.
Whoa.
And then I'm like, man, I should probably try and freak him too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And compare, because it's on my bingo board too. I don't have father, and that's so bad. Anyway, I just think like, oh,
that's
it was really awkward.
G55.
So also one of the worst I've ever done in a job interview, because I was just so flustered and embarrassed the whole time. I was like, oh.
I kind of want to circle back to this where you said, should I tell him in the interview? And I think yes.
I should have.
But I think you should have done it when he was like, tell me about a time you've overcome adversity. And you would be like, yo, one time I was doing this interview with a really hot bank guy that does finance. And I saw a photo on his desk, and I had actually fricked his lusty dad. And so I had to overcome this adversity and crush the interview still.
Yeah.
And just watch his mind start to implode and then be like, first of all, inappropriate to bring up at a finance interview. Which that's the other thing. You said he was in finance, and I was like, is he in a bank or finance? Because every finance person is like, it's finance.
It's finance.
It's finance. And that's how I'm like, yo, you're kind of a teabag. I can tell.
Yeah. Look, I don't trust men in finance.
I don't trust anyone who says finance.
Yeah, no, right?
It's like, do they drive their Camry to their finance?
So the interview, you said you did, but did you get offered the job?
No,
or no?
God, no. No, I
Did
didn't.
you ever see this guy again? Were you able to complete the...
No, I never saw him again. I did think about it, though. I was like, what if I went and opened an account at that bank? It's just like, I see him.
And I was like, I would like a private banker.
No.
It's not the only thing open.
No, but I don't know. Like, based on his dad, I just don't think he's going to age well. So it's just like,
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like you're also going to turn into a lusty old man.
He's probably a lusty young man right now.
He is. So why do you think the interview went poor? Is it because you were just flustered about the situation, or did you give like an awkward interview answer?
I was flustered, and then I just started being weird, and then like my heart wasn't in it anymore, and I was like, I don't even know if I can work for you because I fucked your dad. Like, even though I got the job, like, this would just be so uncomfortable. And like, what if your dad comes to visit you? There were just so many like things in my head. I was like, I'm not going to do well at this interview.
Did you ever ask him if he had a pool at his house?
Be like, man, hey, are you close with your parents?
How close? Because I am close with your parents. One of your parents. The other one doesn't exist to me.
Said, hey, did your dad's mole ever clear up?
He's like, what?
Like, do you have any questions for me? I'm like, yeah.
What if you had gotten the job and like eventually he tried to discipline you and you were like,
That's your dad's
Actually,
job.
yeah. I was gonna say I actually enjoy getting disciplined. So can we do it with the paddle or your hands? Thank you.
What are we doing here?
he's trying to like be dominant and she's like, your father had a much sterner tone.
No, for real, I had a roast. Imagine.
Yeah.
Like, imagine doing a bad job at that after your dad did a good job. That'd be so, you know.
That would be my
That would
biggest
be
fear. Like if I slept with a woman that my dad had also slept with, like what if my dad's just way better at sex?
Oh,
than
he
me?
is. I don't even have to like experience. Older men just usually are.
Damn
Oh,
it.
man, that
Anyways,
would
not
be
to be pro old men.
that would be tough. I think my dad has slept with maybe 2 women,
Oh, okay.
and they were both of his wives. So I'm
There we
good.
go.
I'm clear.
How many
Better.
men?
I'm clear. Fewer than me. Same
you
as me.
something.
Same as me. I'm a 0. He's probably a 0.
I was gonna say so 200. Great story.
That was a
Lacee.
great
That was
story.
So good.
That
Way
is
to
a fun
get us
one.
kicked off. Beautiful. Oh wait, we'll cap it off with. Let's think. Like final thought, or what'd you learn, or what was the takeaway?
The takeaway is hooking up with old men is not. You shouldn't do it.
Shouldn't do it.
Shouldn't
Okay.
do it.
Shouldn't do it.
Even though they're way better at sex.
Yeah. It's just not worth the social awkwardness. You know, you never know whose dad it is.
That's true.
Do you
So
think you
it's
have?
best to just not?
Do you think you have an age at which men become good at sex?
I don't know.
Like, do you think it was 40s,
I'm sure it's
30s,
like a person
50s?
by person like type thing.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I would imagine it's like somewhere around like 35 because like
Okay.
young people are dumb.
Okay,
Like,
I'm
we don't use
34,
our-
so I must be getting close.
I'm
about to be there.
Yeah.
Next year you can be putting it down.
Yeah, make an Excel spreadsheet and start like not parking the differences, figuring out.
Just have a
what's
rating
changed between now
system.
and then.
But it's just gonna be my ratings. I don't want to hear Laura's.
That'd be so funny.
Like my input only. I did great.
I'm getting way better at this.
Rocked her world.
I imagine like rating yourself on the Excel sex spreadsheet. That's like when you're doing the self checkout and it's like pops up to give a rating. It's like yeah.
A 10 out of 10.
All right, now it's Will's turn. I'm gonna shuffle them up.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right. Here's a good one. I don't know if it's a good. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
I spent 10 days in jail, and then I used my mugshot on my Tinder profile.
Ooh, man, I bet you were attracting the most premium goth baddies.
Yeah.
It was it played well on Tinder. I
Wow.
was shocked. I was like, I'm gonna do it for fun, and then my match increases went through the roof.
Women love red flags.
Isn't that
Yeah.
so bizarre?
I'm telling you, and it was probably the best picture I've ever taken.
Your
Ever.
mugshot?
Yeah, it's not like
Do
I
you
was trying to
have
be.
it?
Oh yeah.
Can we see it?
Oh, it is hearted on my phone. I'm saving it for. Okay, yeah.
I want to
I would
see
love
it.
to
Give me a
see
second
them.
to pull
I
it
gotta
up.
picture this.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not even like that. There's just something about it where it's like everything about that was okay. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, let's see.
He's
the
just
mugshot.
aura farming in
Aura
prison.
farming.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah, let's see it.
Damn.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's a mugshot?
That's a mugshot.
That's fucking awesome.
I understand why you got matches.
Stop it,
I
you.
get it.
Yeah, one of my friends,
Dude,
and I had
that's
not
awesome.
seen it, but
Can
one
you
of my
send me that
friends.
so I can put it in the.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Yeah,
send-
yeah. Okay.
One of my friends, she's a comedian in Dallas named Emily Griefer. I did not look my mugshot up, and when I got out of jail, I told her, and she was like, "This you?" and sent it to me.
And you
I
were
was
like,
like,
"That is me."
"You're goddamn right, that's me."
Oh wow. So okay, questions. What did you go to jail for? You were in for 10 days.
I was in for 10 days. It was a DUI.
Oh, do we know?
It was it was a DUI, and the option was I could do probation for 18 months, and you go from Dallas, and when they call your name random time during the week, you have to drive all the way to Tyler, Texas, which is where I got my DUI, and you're not allowed to smoke or drink, and if you do, you go to jail. And I was like, I can either go to jail for 10 days or I can go to jail for however long I get for breaking probation. So I was like, I'll take 10 days in jail.
Dang.
Did you have fun?
It was a blast.
All right.
Yeah. What is
It was-
jail like?
Dude,
I've never
it was,
even been arrested.
I do not. Someone like me does not belong in jail.
Yeah, no.
I have. It was an experience because, first of all, I'm like not that experienced with crime and criminality,
Right.
and the experience of going to jail taught me so much more about crime than I ever would have known. Like I had, my exposure to drugs before that was like weed, alcohol, and I've been around coke. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I get to jail, and the guy that's seated next to me, and he was like, "Dude, have you ever heard of PCP?" And I was like, "What is PCP?" And he's like, "Angel's dust, man, angel's dust." And I was like, "I've never heard of it." And he's like, "It's great." And this dude told me how to
Did he give
use
you
it,
some?
told me how to get it, told me where I could get, and I was like, I left jail and I was like, I'm a bigger criminal now than I was before.
I know one thing about PCP. This might be my only input for this whole story.
Okay.
There's a rapper named Big Lurch, and in like the early 2000s, he was really popping off. And then he took too much PCP, had like a psychotic break, and ate his neighbor.
Oh my God.
Horrifying.
That guy was giving me, I would eat you right now, guys. He was like, dude, all you gotta do is take a cigarette, you dip it in the PCP, and then you smoke it. And I was like, thank God you don't have that in addition to whatever you have right now.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
So did you have a cellmate? Or is that just in like movies?
So I did work release. It's a crazy story. So I was a bartender at the time, and if I had done the Friday to Monday work release, I would have lost my job. And I was like, Your Honor, if I do jail how you want me to.
Again, naivety. What does work release mean?
Yeah, work release is basically they allow you to work so you don't lose your job, but you have to show up at jail on the weekends until you've served all of your time. So you show up Friday
So instead of
afternoon,
doing 10
and then they let
weekend
you
jail.
out. Yeah, I did weekends.
Okay.
But because I was a server, they were like, we'll let you do Sunday night to Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Because I was like, Your Honor, if I do this, I will lose my job, I will be on the street, and I will do more crime. and he was like, all right, you make a good
I
argument.
will do PCP. if you do this to me.
I know how to get it now.
And you look delicious.
Yeah.
Hungry.
And so the first time I went, they put me in with a bunch of cellmates, like Sunday, and I went in with everyone because it turns out the clerk forgot to file that I was on work release.
Oh.
Because I was on opposite days, and they just filed me in. So I was in with it houses 24 people, and it was nuts because I'm in there. I don't feel like I belong, but I also want to I was thinking I need to be as small as possible. I don't want to get attention. And I was like, I want to be good enough friends with these people that they share their instant coffee, but not good enough friends that they remember my name when they get out.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And so I did. I made some friends. One guy's name was Jeter.
Nice.
I don't know if that's his real name, but he was in jail for breaking and entering.
Oh boy.
34 times.
Whoa.
That's impressive.
34. His lawyer fired him. He was like, I'm not good enough for this case.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, Jeter, when are you going to learn you are not very good at breaking and entering?
He's terrible
You've
at
been caught
crime.
a lot of times. Yeah,
Getting caught
terrible
34
crimes.
times is crazy.
Yeah, and by Wednesday morning, though, I told you they forgot to file it. And so Wednesday morning comes around, they do not treat you well. And Wednesday was Tuesday night, actually, and I was trying to figure out, make sure I was going to be getting out.
Yeah, when do I get out of here?
Yeah, and I was trying to get the guard's attention. I was like, hey, guard. And he goes, what, prisoner? And I was like, I've got a DUI, man. Chill. What do you want, convict? And so I was like,
Honestly,
hey.
you know what? You probably had a lower BAC than he does on patrol.
You're right. I'm sure this dude was he was like a correctional officer, and I guess those are different from cops.
Oh, okay.
And so they don't even get to be on the streets. They're just with the rest of us prisoners,
Real.
And I was like,
Imagine
hey,
a cop too dangerous to be put out on the
streets.
street.
That's
Oh,
God.
keeping us whipped into shape. And so he was like, I don't believe you. And I was like, I swear to God, check. And he checks, and he was like, you're not getting out. You're in for 10 days straight. And I was like, oh my God, no, there's been a mistake. I'm going to lose my job. And he was like, should have thought about that before you drank and drive. And I was
Oh
like,
my
I wasn't thinking about anything. I was drunk. And
I'll say my get into this old lady's pool.
this lusty woman. Yeah. And
Agatha.
yeah, so he told me I wasn't. And I literally got into my bunk bed, and I got in there, and I cried.
Oh no.
I cried, and it was such a bad experience because no one else knows what I'm going through.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out. I'm a grown man in jail crying. Not a good look if you're trying to stay just tough enough to stay out of anyone's ideas. And while I'm crying, there's this guy named Billy making goat noises. I'm crying under my sheet. And he's like, nah. And it's 2 in the morning, and I'm trying to cry myself to sleep. Billy, shut up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, terrible.
Well, I mean, his name's Billy
Billy Goat. That's so funny.
it's so true. True
great
story.
Goat.
Billy
True
Goat.
story. Yeah, so I got to see one of those ramen burritos in
Oh,
person,
fun.
which is
What's a ramen burrito?
dude. It's like a jail delicacy, and they
Wow.
buy ramen, and then they make it just warm enough to where it melts, but not cold enough that it doesn't congeal. So
Okay.
it stayed in one, and you roll it in saran wrap or something, and let it cool off, and it would be you can eat it as It's disgusting, first of all. It was
not
like
good.
literal slop, and it
But if
like
you're in
warmed
jail-
against his hands and would like slowly start dripping down.
Oh my
And he's like, "Isn't it great? I mixed it with Cheetos." And I was like, I mean, honestly, prison chef, great. And then my second time, so they did. I called my sister from there. I had to get a guy named Ace to let me borrow. I didn't have any commissary money because I was supposed to be out in 3 days, and it takes 5 days to process. And he was the guy that was sharing his instant coffee with me. So I was like, Ace, can I get one more favor? And he was like, dude, for sure. And so he let me use his money to call my sister.
Wow.
But I was like,
That's so nice.
yeah. And I was like, that's so kind. And I'm acutely aware that this is this man's money. And so my sister gets a call from a jail. And I was like, Angela, I need you to just not ask any questions. Just listen very, very closely because I'm going to talk fast. And so she did call my lawyer and I got out. And I get in the second time though, because I was in work release, they put me in the work release tank, which is normally with the work release people that are Friday to Monday, but there was none of them.
You're alone.
It was just you?
Just me in a cell that houses 24 for 3 days.
That's like a Mr. Beast challenge.
And I would, if there was the opportunity to get out, I would have murdered someone to get out. I was
Hey,
like
guys.
losing my mind.
Today we're in solitary work release.
Because
last one to leave keeps their job.
Dude, it was terrible because I had a television. Every one of them has a television, but mine was broken and it was stuck on country music television for 3 days. And I must have seen 40 episodes of Reba.
Oh my God.
I was like, the song was getting stuck in my head and it was repeating itself. And I was like,
Oh God.
oh my God, I got the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor, you know?
Single mom.
So
works
when you
single
got
mom.
out, did you ever put money on Ace's books for him just to thank him for his...
No.
Oh my God.
Ace, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry, man.
Bro, he's hunting you down.
I hope not. He was a sweet
What if
kid.
he became like a really hardcore criminal and he's like, last person I trusted? You know the last place I saw him? On Tinder using his mugshot.
Yeah.
He was crying in the top bunk. Now he's using it to get pussy?
Yeah.
He owes me, but I told him my name was James. So, yeah, I was playing it smart. Yeah, dude.
God, that's
crazy.
Ace, his name was probably Deuce. He probably lied to you.
Deuce and Ace, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a good cover.
When I was a kid, we had dogs. One of them was named Ace, and then they had puppies. The one that looked a lot like him, we named Deuce.
Aw.
And then we were gonna have another round and name one Trace, but then we decided the puppies were too much work.
Okay.
That's too much.
Too many.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
Just one.
Just one? Okay. So they had the equal number of siblings to puppies.
Well, we each had a dog, and then the dogs had babies, and they had 5 babies. And so then we had 7 dogs, and that was too much.
Okay, I was trying to figure out the ratio
lot
of
of
like
dogs.
dogs
It was-
to human
Yeah.
children
Did you keep all
and
5
what the
puppies?
responsibility is.
We were gonna keep some, but then after 6 months or less than that,
Yeah.
they were still like puppy. Like I think maybe 3 months. We were like, we can't do this. And luckily, French bulldogs were in high demand at that time, so
Yeah.
that people wanted them. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, all right, sorry
we-
thrice, but
Yeah. Luckily, my dad's gun was loaded. You know. But dude, great. So what did you have any like a final thought or lesson learned? Put money on Ace's books next time.
yeah, if someone does you a favor, pay him back.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, if you got a good photo of yourself, even if it's a bad story, might turn out pretty well.
Yeah.
Because my current girlfriend, and we've been together for 6.5 years, bought a house in Oklahoma City together. That's why we came here. She swiped right.
No way.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
On
Yeah.
the crime shot. That's good.
You know what's wild is the Will that I know is like super into Bermuda grass. He goes to bed early. I'm not making
I know,
this
this is
up.
my first time meeting you, so I'm just like, wow, this guy's got a DUI.
I know a totally different man.
Very different.
got a man
I was sending
bun.
I was sending pictures to Cody this morning of my garden now because I'm like, I
Yes.
like bees.
He literally said like, and he has an extended bit about how great Bermuda grass is.
Oh, fun.
Like-
well, we're glad you've retired from your life of crime.
Yeah, but then he's like, yeah, I used to be in jail and like in a metal
So
band.
I'm
Like,
in jail.
Yeah. Dude, one of my
In a metal band?
I was in a metal band, yeah,
wait,
through
play,
college.
Play like 10 seconds
So-
of that song. So like, just imagine the Will that I know loves Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
Talks constantly about the environment and our
Yeah.
need to elect officials that support, you know, progressive movements
and
then he's like-
sustainability.
and sustainability.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, this is the band I used to play in.
All right. I was the drummer.
Goes to bed at like 9 p.m.
Okay. Wow.
I've got some vocals.
Getting it.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, there's one more thing I'll say about it is I
Yeah.
have this like thing that I want to do now. I want to get a tattoo of 10 tally marks, like on my wrist or something, for the time I spend in jail. Yeah, because in my mind, someone sees that and they're like, "Whoa, what's the 10?" And I'll be like, "Did I spend time on the inside?" And they'll be like, 10 years? And I'll be like, nah, 10 days.
You could just use the lingo. Yeah, I did a dime for some shit back in the day. Yeah, that would be awesome. Great story. All right. I think we'll keep alternating. Lacey, you want to tell another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to do a show once, a comedy show, where my job was to heckle the performer. And I got there, and the performer was my boyfriend's other girlfriend.
Oh, no.
And we did not know that was...
Oh, I don't know if you have any other sound effects, but like a wah, wah.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. I
have so many questions.
Did you know as soon as you, well, maybe we're going to get into this in the story. I don't want to get, I don't want to, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was kind of clickbaity because,
Okay.
but
wow.
yeah. So, I got hired to do this show.
Speaking of clickbait, he was baiting quite a bit.
What?
What's up? Sorry, go ahead. Not my best riff. The floor is yours.
Riff. It was a great riff. I got hired to do this show for like an art crawl event, right? So I get there, and the situation is that they want me to heckle this performer and this other performer, these two like street performer people, and they gave me a walkie-talkie instead of a microphone. First of all, I want you guys as comedians to imagine you get a walkie-talkie.
Where does the sound come out of?
But great question. They put the other walkie-talkie on the other end of the room, and so people should be able to hear it. I'm not kidding.
That is ridiculous.
I walk in, I'm given walkie-talkie. The other walkie-talkie across the room in a plant box. And they're like, "Can you talk louder?"
Can you get a bigger walkie-talkie?
And like, so immediately I'm like unsure about the situation. And they had given me like a little bit of the premise and told me what kind of like heckling they wanted me to do. But basically they just wanted me to be like mean to this girl.
Damn.
And this guy dressed as the Monopoly Man was like walking her around. So it was like weird. It was like a weird like art performance thing, right?
I have so well, part of the rule is, hey, as you're being mean to her, make sure you finish with over.
Over. Over and out. Over and out.
Your jokes suck. Over.
Well, they also wanted
be
me
like,
like
10-4, next joke.
from like behind this little column. So they wanted me to be like hiding and then like pop out and roast this girl and then hide again.
Whoa.
So it was just already kind of like, it wasn't like what I'm used to doing as like a stand-up comedian. It was fun, but I didn't know who I was going to be heckling. I was not given a lot of information about the show. So I get there, I meet the guy running it. He like shows me around, shows me what's going on. He's like, the performer will be out here soon. I'm like, cool. So this girl walks out, and it's this woman that does not like me, has not liked me for like 10 years. Because 10 years ago, we dated the same guy at the same time and didn't know about each other.
Oh, shoot.
So this girl like has had me blocked on Instagram for like 7 straight years.
Question, who was with the boy first?
So it depends on how you're counting.
Okay.
Okay, because here's the situation, right? I met this guy, we started getting along. So we started like seeing each other. And then after like a few like months of us like hanging out and talking all the time, I'm like, do you want to like, like be together? And he's like, here's the thing. I just got back with my ex-girlfriend.
Whoa.
And I'm like, all right, cool. But he goes, here's the thing. I told her about you. And like, she knows that we're going to be like friends. And I was like, okay. So we like we're friends or whatever. And then he tells me that they have broken up. And so we do hook up. And then that turns out that was not the case. They were super not. And then like we're like all like both of us kind of just dating him at the same time.
How did you find out? Did one of you reach out to the other?
No, he finally cracked it, like because he had to change my name in his like phone, I guess, because I was like texting him when he was like with her, and they felt really
he didn't
guilty.
Get caught, he just confessed.
He just confessed.
Okay.
He's like,
what? His girlfriend wasn't even like, who's Richie, and why does Richie keep texting me?
So, well, because she knew my name, I guess, and like she was like, why is this girl texting you? So he changed my name in his phone, and then that like sent him spiraling or whatever. So it was just kind of awkward. It was super awkward.
I mean, like, huge bummer that she was mad at you
Yeah.
instead of him.
I feel like it goes like
because
that.
She was really
Yeah,
mad
it's not
at
really
me.
fair.
I was 10 years younger than both of them too. So it was just not.
I am noticing a theme. Wow.
Because I was 20 and they were both like 30 at the time. So I was just like, it was just not the best situation, you know?
Sure.
And neither of us really handled it well. And I don't think she ever like hated me, but we never spoke or acknowledged each other ever again after that. So it was hard to not feel hated. And then I get there and they're like, you need to heckle her. And I'm like, I can't. This is like the one person on earth that I probably can't heckle. Like, you definitely
You
can't.
get the walk out, you're like, how my pussy taste?
Nah, that was too aggressive. She'd be like, your boyfriend has a tiny pee-pee.
Hey,
We
our
fricked.
boyfriends.
Man, that's great. So, how'd you handle it? Did you just like...
I mean, I did the best I could. So here's the other thing. About 10 minutes into this like art crawl, walkie-talkie number 1 dies.
Oh my God.
Right. And if you've ever been to like the Tulsa art crawl, it's fucking crowded. It's packed. It's loud.
Okay.
There's people. Like, so I'm raising my hand trying to get their attention.
Can I hang on? So this wasn't a stationary show either.
No.
You
this
are literally
was-
having to follow
No, okay.
this person,
No,
and
so
she's like,
she's like walking around the room, right, with this guy that's dressed up as like the Monopoly guy or whatever. So they're like walking around. Like there's like a leash involved. It's like a statement on capitalism. I don't really understand what they were trying to say, but they're walking around, and there's people strewn about this venue, right, looking at all the paintings and stuff. And then they start doing performance art while everyone's looking at like the gallery, because we're in an art gallery. Wow. And they have me hidden behind a column, and every few minutes they have me popping out and saying shit into this walkie-talkie so that people nearby will hear me roasting this performance.
Interesting.
And like calling it like, you know, like heavy-handed and stupid and like, oh, who came up with this is so gauche, like stuff like that. It was just
Oh
like
my
really
gosh.
like, I know, so I look like a fucking so I just look like a cunt now. So I'm like, hey, sorry, he was my boyfriend.
did she ever heckle back? Like, as all these people were thinking you were really rude, she'd be like, yeah, and she
No.
fucked my boyfriend.
That would have been so bad though.
Wow.
No, I mean they were nice. We just didn't like acknowledge one another or speak. And then microphone number 1 or walkie-talkie dies, and the guy brings over another one, and it lasts.
That's very generous of you to be like, microphone number 1. That's what we had to call code name.
Yeah.
So the first walkie dies. The guy brings me out a second one. It lasts for like 6 or 7 minutes, and it also.
Oh my gosh. The Tulsa Art Crawl does not charge their batteries, apparently.
No, and I think that I don't know what was going on. And it might have just been because there's so many people. There's like interference and stuff, but like nobody could hear what I was saying on the other end of that microphone. Or
Why not just get a
walkie-talkie.
megaphone?
Why not just get a megaphone? Would have been
Yeah.
funnier. A megaphone would have
Maybe
been
that's
funnier.
part of the art piece is that like none of it works, so her heckles are kind of like on a meta level very true.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing is stupid, and they're like, it
Yeah.
is stupid. The walkie-talkie is not even working.
Okay, all of a sudden they sound like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. right?
I
God.
wonder, because who booked you for this? Maybe the
Evan
girl.
Hughes.
Oh, I was thinking maybe the girl knew.
No,
and-
I don't
Oh,
think
that
so.
would have
From
been-
what my understanding is, like the art gallery reached out to Evan and was like, "Do you have any comedians that you think would be good at like a heckling show?"
Okay.
And then Evan was like, "Send Lacee," and so none of us like knew like who was gonna like be there, because I don't think either of us would have like agreed to that had we
Yeah.
had like. I would not have been like, "Yes, let me come roast her," because that seems so mean.
really
So my bad.
That is really funny.
That one sucked. That was the most
So-
uncomfortable show I've ever done.
Post show, have you two spoken?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No.
She
didn't even
No, and I'm
write
still
like
blocked
a-
on Instagram.
She didn't even like hit you up and be like, you went a little bit too hard.
No,
for our history.
no one said shit to me. I was like, okay.
She says that Lacey's like, that's funny because your boyfriend was never hard enough.
Oh, erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Get him.
Oh.
So, whoops.
That's a really good story.
Yeah, that was a.
You,
What
I
a
swear
show.
you get to do the weirdest shows. Like,
No.
I've been booked for some strange ones.
even if you and this woman had no history, what a strange environment.
Yeah, like a heckle show.
Yeah.
And they were like artists, like street. I don't know, it was weird. And they had like all these like layers of clothing on. At the end, the Monopoly man like cut them off, and I was like, I want to understand the art behind this. I feel stupid. What's the? What
Yeah.
are
Oh,
we
they were
doing?
participating in our show being like, I don't get it. I'm just here to talk shit.
Guys, is this about the Trump administration? Be honest. What does this mean?
Yeah, what is going on here? I like just back to Mr. Monopoly cutting off.
Yeah, just cutting off layers of skirts. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
I like imagining you like talking comedy with somebody else and you're like, got any shows coming up? They're like, yeah, I'm doing 5 at Hunt Club. And you're like, oh, that's cool. I'm doing a walkie-talkie heckle mic of a woman I used to share a boyfriend with at a Tulsa art crawl. They're like,
But have fun at your own mic.
oh, yeah, that's cool.
It's part of the culture of the city.
Yeah.
Different. All right, final thought. What's your final words of wisdom on this.
Sometimes you show up to a show and it's a nightmare.
And you just do your best.
Sometimes optimism is stupid.
That's great.
That is great.
Will, you ready for another one?
Let's do it. I'm also just so happy to know that shows like that exist.
Right. They're fun. I love all comedy.
There's
stuff.
no shortage of comedy
Weird.
going around and so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are people that were like, that show was awesome.
Yeah. That just means if you're not getting booked, you must be really bad. Because there's a lot of shows out there.
A lot of
Yeah. Okay. I got the worst black eye you've ever seen by getting punched by an 8th grade girl.
Oh my God.
To be clear, I was also in 8th grade, like at the time.
okay,
This wasn't like a
okay.
recent, like, an
was
8th grader was like
32.
reaching up to punch the shit out of me.
Why are you hanging out with an 8th grade girl?
Yeah, to
Like,
clarify.
first of all, I was 32. Second of all, I didn't like how she broke up with me.
Oh my God.
Will's getting canceled.
Oh no! There might be a picture somewhere. I mean, the picture's from 2002 at this point.
This was the second
And so it would be
slide
on,
your
like-
Tinder after the mugshot.
And so there was a thing going around my middle school, and this is, understand, I'm aware of this now, just so bad.
A thing. the
So
clap.
bad. But it was like a thing where the boys would try to pants the girls.
Oh no.
And it was so bad. And I, very, very shy kid, would never have done that. Never. And I was like super into church. I was like the praise band drummer, and I was like, I got grounded for praying too late one night.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
That's the kind of, like that. I was like a super sweet gentleman, said ma'am to other 8th graders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just kept getting so encouraged to like, Will, you should do it. We're all doing it. They don't get that mad. Like, you should just try it. And I was like, no, I can't do it. And then finally they were like, you should do it. And finally I was like, I'm going to give in to peer pressure. How bad could it be?
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
Oh, no.
And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
How did you decide your victim?
It was after school at a one-act play.
That's nice of you to not
rehearsal.
interrupt their learning.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
smallest sample size possible.
Yeah.
And it was at a one-act play. And this girl had, the day before for one-act play rehearsal, had mooned everyone in one-act play. So I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Someone's obviously pretty friendly of showing
Okay.
her butt, And I was like, okay, this is
Fair logic.
yeah, and I was like, it can't be. I'm gonna pick someone who's not, too shy, and so I finally I just did it. I just did it.
Did you
And-
like sneak attack or?
Yeah, she
Oh,
was like
no.
walking away, and I just like ran up behind her. I was like, shook,
Oh no.
and
And she decked you?
dude, not at first. The first thing she did was turn around and go, Will Burnson, this was not the day. I was like, oh
wow.
Full name.
And I saw so much fury in her eyes. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And so I literally ran.
Oh wow.
I ran, and it's a tiny town, and so like middle school and high school are on the same campus, and so I literally just like sprinted around the campus, and I was like, someone should be clocking this. This is like fastest 8th grade 2-mile run anyone's ever seen.
The 400 meter under 18 world record.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know exactly how fast I'm going, but I'm fucking getting it, And then like her and like her friends like started chasing
you know
me.
what they call that? Sexual assault adrenaline.
Oh, it was so bad. I totally regret it. But like her and her friends like started chasing me around the school.
they
And I mean,
should have.
they should have. Like it was, I mean, I was like 11. It was like super stupid. And
So they didn't believe in your cardio. They were like, if we chase him long enough, he's gonna tap out.
Yeah, they did not. And I ran, and her and her friends like were chasing me, and there was this other guy who was actually really, really fast.
Oh, no.
And I think it's because we were actually, this wasn't 8th grade. I'm lying. This was like 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
This was 6th grade. And so I'm still like pretty young. You know what I mean? And I'm running, and this other guy. He had to have hit like precocious puberty.
Oh, boy.
Because he was like a 6th grader with a mustache.
Oh, my gosh.
And he could bench like 150 pounds. I couldn't even do a push-up, and this dude was fast.
Oh no.
And he caught me. They finally cornered me, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be really bad. And her and her friends are like, they grab me, and she goes, Will, that was really messed up. And I was like, you're right. And I feel really bad. And she turned around and started walking away. And I was like, oh, that's not so bad. And then she turned the whole way around and just fucking right in my right eye, dude. The worst punch I've ever been, like, actually cracked my orbital bone.
Oh.
And you can, like, you have to feel real hard, but you can feel like a little lump there from her hitting me so hard. And my eyes swelled up, like, to where I couldn't see out of my eye. I felt it against it. It was like, have you ever seen someone also get hit in the eye and like the blood fills in the eyeball?
Yeah.
Like I had blood in my eyeball, couldn't see nothing, dude. And it was like well deserved. It is one of my top regrets in life. Like I wish no one could say Will Burnson pantsed a girl in 6th grade. I really wish. That's one of my, if I had a genie, some people be like, I want $1 million. I'd be like, I want not to have pantsed anyone. And yeah, punch the shit out of me, dude. And yeah.
Dang. Do you think when she like turned to walk away, was she actually thinking about letting it go, or was she trying to give you the fake?
Yeah, did she like make like a little comment or something, or did she just turn around?
I didn't say anything. I was like, I need to be as quiet as possible. Because whatever happens.
That'd be so funny if she's like, not cool. She turns around. Will's like, yeah, your ass is flat anyway.
Now you're getting it. Yeah. Well, dude, I was like, at this point, I had two options. I could be quiet and whatever comes.
Yeah.
I might be getting out of this, or I could say something and I'm definitely getting punched. And so I was quiet, and I think, I don't know. I think she might have considered it, and then she might have been like, "Nah, fuck men.
Yeah,
this boy needs to learn a lesson." And because boys have been getting away with it.
True.
They have been doing it since and after that, there was no more pantsing in the school. I solved it because I think every boy was like, "Oh, they're getting tired of it.
Yeah,
they're getting tired of it."
If they punched Will, I mean, it's really over.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow, a
And
pantsing problem in school.
Yeah.
It was so bad, man, and I never lived it down. And she and I are like, we became like reasonably like good friends, and like now we're in touch a little bit, not like best friends. We're like very cordial acquaintances, and it's like occasionally I'll be like, how are you guys doing? And she'll tell me, you know what I mean? So it's really good now. But on our senior slideshow.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. They go through like all the pictures, and it's like a tiny school. We had like 54 kids in my graduating class. And so like you can share photos through the years at the thing. And at our senior night, one of the slideshow pictures was me with my black eye. Everyone just died.
Did everybody remember why it happened?
Oh yeah. How do you forget something like that?
How do you forget it?
Were there ever any like larger consequences, or was it kind of like, hey, we're even, don't do it again? Did anybody get reported or?
Dude, no. It blew up.
It did?
It blew up because I was obviously going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. And what happened is my mom got home and she was like, "What happened?" And I told her, and she was like,
"That's a hard story to tell."
And it's like, I wish she could have just left it. I would have been down to get all of my own. Whatever was coming to me, I would have been like, I deserve it. I was at that point, I was icing my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever happens. And my mom was like, no, why'd you do it? And I was like, I don't know, I just didn't. She was like, that's not like you. Why would you ever do that? And I was like, and I finally just was like, it'd been happening at school. And I thought, why not? And so my mom, instead of being like, well, you're stupid, don't do that again. My mom like called the school and she was like, how dare my son get in trouble?
Oh no.
And so it just blew up because then they were like doing an investigation to see how many people had participated. And my mom was like, and she punched him. She needs to be in trouble. And I was like, I pantsed her. Don't make her get in trouble for punching me in the face for doing something I should have been punched in the face for. And, she was not letting it go. And I was suspended for like 4 days and then ISS for like a week. Dang. And I think they were mostly doing that so I didn't have to be in public with my eye. And yeah,
Whoa.
it was big. A lot of people got in trouble because they were like, anyone who might have participated.
They caught the whole ring.
They stopped the pantsing.
It was a bust.
Yeah, it was a drug.
It was a sting operation.
We had to rent a cop, but they called in the rent a FBI.
Yeah. They bring in like guys with football pads with cops written on the helmet, just storming into the classrooms.
It was so bad, man.
Wow. What final thought?
Final thought, do not give in to peer pressure. Do not do it.
Genius.
And stay true to yourself, not true to what other people think that you ought to try.
Yeah.
Good point.
Don't pants someone unless you want to do it.
Actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, maybe different.
I got pantsed in 7th grade.
Did you really?
It was at a big school assembly, and I was up, and I was talking to one of the teachers as part of this like act out for like what we were gonna do on stage, and this girl pantsed me, and she got underwear. So my little 7th grade penis flapped to the wind, and I was like, no! And worst of all, nobody felt bad for me. Everybody just laughed. The girl didn't get in trouble. She turned around and high-fived another chick. And then they were just like, all right, Cody, go sit down. We're doing an assembly. That was it.
You didn't even punch her in the eye? Oh my God.
What if I like...
No consequences.
No, I was really embarrassed. What if I had turned around and been like, now you gotta suck it. Just like totally flipped it. Just in the assembly like, ah.
Dude, or what if like in solidarity, all the other 7th grade boys were like, you're gonna see mine too.
That's like in South Park. You seen that episode?
I haven't seen as much as... I've only seen the Man Bear Pig episode, which is great.
That is a good one. But yeah, that was my pantsing story. So
wow, well, I'm sorry that you got pants, but glad that it was in 7th grade. That way, at least you could be like, that was
Well, I thought a lot was going to turned out it was done.
All I got was hair.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
This is so much fun.
This is
Sorry
fun.
you guys are both pantsing victims. Well, you did the pantsing.
I was not. I was a perp.
DUI pantsing. This guy's a criminal.
Fucking bad dude,
Oh my God.
Dude, it is crazy because like when I think of the Will I know, I'm like, I almost don't want to curse around him. He's like such a wholesome guy.
Yeah, that is not the vibe I'm getting.
Oh, dude.
So funny. If you had seen his act before like this, you would be shocked.
I think you really would,
like,
yeah,
he
because it
talks
is
about Bermuda grass and Sister Judith at church.
Are you like a clean performer?
Yeah.
Aw.
I'm doing a little less clean now. Like I might say a couple curse words, but everything
But he
that I've
can do,
written,
like,
I
a
can do it
half
clean.
hour.
Yeah, I can do like a half hour clean and do
like, and it's not just like clean and it's like we need his. It's like he's clean and he kills. Really impressive.
Hell yeah.
it's fun.
Really it's inspiring. Okay, so Lacey, you can pick which one of those you want to do.
One time I dated this guy for 6 weeks so I could outbid his aunt on a doll on Craigslist.
Whoa!
Wow.
What? Oh,
Wow.
give Will some background on the dolls because I know all about the dolls.
I want to hear about these dolls. I want to hear about the auction. I want to hear about the boy, the aunt, how close they were. Did you ruin the relationship? I have so many questions. Do you still talk to the aunt? Did you like, hey, I beat you, bitch?
The aunt's one of my ops. So,
Tell Will about the dolls because
right.
the lore matters a lot here.
Okay.
I collect haunted dolls. I have one of the largest collections in Oklahoma. I've been collecting the dolls for a long time. The dangerous ones stay locked up, but I've got a bunch.
You
In a
are
literal
I've
cage.
spent a lot
You
of
are a
money on
little
the dolls.
weirdo, and I love it. Oh my God, what a cool thing to
I love my
collect.
dolls, but Cody came and saw some of the dolls. He put them in the episode.
That is
but-
so sick.
Yeah. Love the dolls.
Do you have pictures of these dolls that I can look at after this?
I do.
Okay,
Don't worry.
am I safe looking at just a photo? Because y'all don't know, one of my like biggest fears and the type of horror movie I cannot do are demon movie, like possession, evil doll, that kind of thing. Like for Halloween, my girlfriend and I were gonna watch The Conjuring. I didn't make it to the title scene.
Whoa.
The doll showed back up and I was like, Laura, I'm out. I'm out. Can we turn on
Can't believe
Scooby-Doo?
This guy spent 10 days in jail.
I know, dude. So
I was
made
gonna
her
wrap this episode by having us watch Annabelle. So that's
God.
Perfect. Well, Matt Wright
Dude.
just stole that dream from me, too.
Ah, that's a bummer. You can rob him.
I should rob him.
Yeah, I made her watch Scooby-Doo instead. So, okay,
Incredible.
sorry. Get
So
back
you couldn't
to.
get okay, no worries.
Yeah.
So I could collect haunted dolls. I've got a lot of them. I got a lot of them off the internet and eBay, and then some of them I found in person, which is very cool. They are different danger levels. I've gotten think from vanilla, pretty violent dolls to like ones that are cool.
Can
Really
you?
friendly.
Am I gonna derail everything if I just ask for like the scariest doll, the history, and just give me details about this doll? I'm just enraptured.
Yeah, the dolls are awesome.
You gotta. So there's honestly so many. One of my oldest dolls, she's probably 130 years old, but she supposedly has a spirit of like a kid in her that was like. Not a lot, you know.
Oh my
so that's not
God.
great.
And
I
one
got a
of
doll
them-
that's JFK reincarnated, baby. And that one's harder to prove. I do believe that he's JFK though.
That's the one I was gonna say. You gotta tell them about.
No, JFK. I've got a doll that survived a fire.
And it's very.
I've got
Survived is a strong
I've
word.
got some
It's-
racist German dolls that like they were produced in Germany, and you can tell they are evil. They're evil dolls. And some of them are really cool and like friendly, and like then there's like
my
mischievous
gosh.
ones, and is some of this mental illness. But is some of it
No,
real?
some of this is
Probably.
like you are literally going to be a personality one day on YouTube where everyone's like, I got to see what she's putting out this week because I want to know the different weird shit that she has going on.
Like a lot of people are like, when you watch them, you're like, oh, they could be a stand-up comic to keep working. I'm like, Lacee can do it all. She's a great stand-up comic. One of the most interesting people I know.
Yeah, I'm thinking like just a YouTube personality where people just want to know about your life where you're like, oh, I painted my room blood red because I like the color.
Fun. Yeah, that would be so fun. Yeah,
Okay.
lots of dolls. Love the dolls.
So how did you find? What was the doll you were targeting with this?
Yeah, so you can we repeat the line too? So you
dated a guy for 6 weeks.
I dated this guy for like 6 weeks so I could outbid his aunt on this doll on the internet.
Okay,
that's great.
So there was a local listing of this doll in Bixby that me and this lady were both competing for, and we like got in a bidding war. She ended up winning it. Pissed me the fuck off. So naturally I stalk this woman, right? Like I look at her little eBay name and then I try and find her. I end up finding her Facebook profile through her email. Turns out she's got like her little, I guess it's her nephew. Is that what an aunt is? Yeah, nephew. She has a nephew that lives in Jinx.
Whoa.
And I live here in Tulsa.
hold on. Okay. Pause here. Many questions.
Impressive detective work.
Yeah. Question number one. You found her off an eBay username. You found her Facebook.
Yeah. Well, she was like, she was not being very cautious with her personal information on the internet. Let me tell you, it was not that hard. Her
email name was dollthief666, and on her profile she was like, "Yeah, my name's Annie. I live in Jinx." Okay. Second question. The place that the haunted doll was stored is in a town called Jinx.
No, this is where her nephew was stored. Her nephew.
Wow, what a cool! I mean, just the city itself being involved in the story.
Yeah.
What?
Wow! Talk about some hijinks here.
But she had her little nephew guy out in Jinx. So I find him. I'm looking at him on Facebook. This guy is super cute. Number one.
Wow, must have been older.
Yes. This one was age appropriate. Oh, well, that's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's younger.
True.
They're getting this song. So I messaged that guy and I was like, hey, like,
Oh no.
I think I saw you out a few weeks ago. Like, I think you're really cute. Like, do you want to get coffee?
What missed connections?
Well, because I couldn't be like, hey.
You were like, I tried to put this on Craigslist and you just didn't even respond.
Well, because I couldn't be like, listen, I'm trying to like steal this doll from your aunt. Like, I need you to help me get this doll. I couldn't like come out that way. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to get to know each other and then I'm going to get the doll. Yeah. Like, this is the only way it's going to go. So we go and get coffee and it goes pretty well, actually. Like, he was like really nice and like sweet and like, you seem like a very normal guy. And then I was like, I'm a bad person for doing this. I'm a bad person for doing this.
But we're in 2 days. I'm seeing it through.
Yeah, I know. I want that doll.
But like first meeting, I can't just like ask him about his extended family. Because when you've been on a date with a girl and she's been like, so tell me about
specifically
your aunt's collections.
Any of your extended family members have any interesting hobbies?
No, right? Like,
any collections you're aware of?
It's like, way to like, you know, like get there naturally. So it took a few weeks of like getting... like,
for the cause.
No, and this little dumbass too, because I kept bringing up my dolls. So I was like, I collect dolls. Do you know anyone with dolls?
He didn't do that.
Dolls? No, because men aren't thinking anything but their
Here's the lesson: men cannot get a hint.
No,
we cannot.
I was like, dude, invite me to your aunt's house so I can rob her.
Dude, I'm like, imagine you trying so hard, you're like making pet names, and you're like, hey, baby doll. What do you think of the name Baby Doll? I love baby dolls. Yeah.
Dolls?
Yeah.
You say the word over and over. Look at
It's a hypnotize.
Causing like a Pavlovian thing where you say doll and he's like, I love you.
He wakes up in the middle of the night, you're over and you're like, dolls.
Well, and it turns out his aunt isn't even like that big of a doll collector. She just happens to like have some of like the rare older ones, but they're all like these like debutante style dolls, which aren't my favorite.
None of them are even haunted.
Some of them are. No, a lot of them are.
Oh, okay.
And they're super fucking cool too. They're just beautiful dolls. But some of them aren't haunted. So she was collecting all these like older debutante dolls, and that's like one of the ones I was trying to get my freaking little hands on that I lost in the auction. So we start like dating or whatever. We've been talking for like 4 or 5 weeks at this point. When we finally get to the conversation about his goddamn aunt that I'm trying to have. And they are not close at all. He doesn't really see his aunt except for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And it's like the middle of fucking summer. So I'm like, God damn it. shit. I don't know how this is gonna work.
You're just like, I need to find myself.
Yeah.
And you're like, I found myself just in time for Christmas.
Yeah. Like, listen,
You know what I'd like for Christmas? Dolls.
Dolls. Oh, the dolls. Give me your aunt's doll. Let me get into her house. No, but clearly
We just kind of went a couple different levels there. Dolls, I want your aunt doll. And then you're like, I just want it in your aunt's house.
Well, because that's probably where the doll is.
Yeah.
Will's just like, I just want a pantser.
I want to take that doll off of her shelf, like not in a weird way, but like it's coming home. With
That
me.
does sound like a euphemism. I want to take that doll off your shelf.
I do. But so that wasn't gonna work. I was like, I can't like date this guy until November. That's a long
Then it's getting
commitment. And even then,
serious.
I don't know if I'll get invited to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy. And if I go to someone else's Thanksgiving, my dad will get upset. It's a whole thing. So we stopped seeing each other after that. But I never told him either like how I had found it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel really bad about that. That feels like one of the creepier things I've done.
Did you
I
ever
hope
get
that
the
he
doll?
listens. I hope that he listens to your
I didn't
podcast.
get the doll. I did all this work because I was gonna try and get the doll from his aunt. And then he's like, "We're not close, and I probably won't see her at Thanksgiving." And I was like, "Fuck."
So no doll.
No doll.
No doll, just
No doll. But the next time there was an auction against that lady, I'm pretty sure she didn't win it.
There
So
we
good.
go.
Yeah.
Did you not? I mean, like, why not reach out via Facebook and just be like, "Hey, I want this doll so bad that I was hooking up with your nephew and I didn't even want to."
I probably should have just messaged her on Facebook.
I let your nephew take my doll off his shelf so that I could take your doll off your shelf.
Send me the dolls or I'll keep fucking your nephews.
Dude, I hope that nephew listens to your podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
and
great.
eventually like puts it together and he's like, "You could have just asked."
Yeah.
Martin,
So,
if you see this, I'm so sorry.
what's your final thought? What'd you learn from this? What would you do different? What would you do the same? What's the experience?
I would not recommend dating anyone with any kind of ulterior motive. That was not a
okay.
kind of thing
Yeah,
I've done.
probably
However,
good.
is it fun? I had a great time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't successful. I didn't get the doll. And that guy and I weren't like a love connection. So it was really just overall, I was just kind of like, oh, this was creepy and kind of weird that I did it.
Sometimes a little bit of creepiness in love is kind of fun.
Yeah.
A little bit
So
of.
I wish my fun. I wish
As
I
they
would have got the
say.
doll.
Yeah.
As they say.
As they always fair in love
Yeah,
and
I
creep.
do wish you got the doll. That would have been.
I wish I
the
got the
mission.
doll,
If it was
too.
successful, that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know where she lives? We can break in still.
No.
For sure. Bixby, let's just go to that
Let's
one
just go
guy.
to every white
34
people's
attempts. Let's just get him. Run his numbers up.
Yeah. I'll give him as much information
Jeter.
as I have.
Yeah.
Jeter's definitely still in jail. Okay.
Jeter's like Bixby. I've hit 21 houses in Bixby.
Yeah.
Man, great story.
Thank you.
Thank you. God, that's so funny. Yeah, earlier you were like, I don't know what to put on these stories, and then you're like
And you're just
banger after
crushing it,
banger.
yeah.
All right, Will, you get to pick.
Okay,
which of
I'll
these
pick.
you would rather
Let's see.
tell.
We've already talked about my DUI, so let's talk about another experience with the police.
More
Oh
crime.
yeah.
All right. So
He's like, I once stole a 12 gauge shotgun and shot 3 police officers in cold blood.
yeah. How did you know?
And then I pantsed their bodies.
We're really building up a history of me here.
And I served my time for it in weekend jail.
He's like,
It's only 10 days. That's only like 3 days per cop.
He's like, I
So
was sentenced to 30 years. I have 622 more weekends left. He's like, I said that I got booked on weekends. No, at the Blue Whale, I'm just in jail.
Yeah.
He's got to be back by 7 p.m.
okay. Not nearly as aggressive as that.
No,
but
I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna try to look at everyone here. I passed a field sobriety test with an ounce of weed in my car, even after I asked the cop permission to scratch my balls.
Wait, repeat that. Repeat that.
So I passed the field sobriety test.
Yeah.
This was in Dallas, Texas, and I had an ounce of weed in the car. And like I passed it, weed was in the car, could have gotten in so much trouble. And like even during the field sobriety test, I was like, hey, is it okay if I scratch my balls?
Nice.
So he should have known you were high.
So the drinking and driving thing was not just a one-off for you.
Okay, here's the thing. Actually, here is the thing.
I love to
Everyone,
drink and drive.
everyone, be honest, man. Nearly everyone who drinks has drunk and drive. So like the way I view that DUI, and if you say no to that, you're a fucking liar. Okay, you've done it.
That's like every guy who hits their wives being like, when they get mouthy, don't we all?
Okay,
don't we all?
no, I'm not going that far.
I just abandoned
what I'm
my
saying
car
is
places.
like, yeah, there's no one who has just spent $80 on getting drunk at a bar after they drove, then been like, I need an Uber, and Uber's like, oh, it's 9 times the original cost, it's $140. There's no one that looks at that and says, yeah, I'll pay it. No, you're like, I only live 2 miles away. You know what I mean?
You're walking.
And
Walk.
so here's how I feel about the actual DUI. Like, did I deserve a DUI for driving and drinking? Yes. Did I deserve that one? No. Because I was
So
not.
what are your like top 3 DUIs?
You know what's funny is like he pans to girl and he's like, I've lived with regret ever since. And he's like, I almost killed 8
Everybody
pedestrians.
drinks and drives.
And that's what we
Everybody
should be
does it.
doing.
Yeah. No, I did not. Here, because the time I got pulled over, like, I was not drunk yet.
Oh.
Yeah, like I had just drank like half a bottle of whiskey with my buddy in the car and immediately left. So I was
half a
not
bottle?
drunk yet, but they
You
take
weren't
so
drunk
long.
off half a bottle?
No, I was well on my way. But
was
remember,
taking
we're
effect?
literally in the park. So we were at like an event for his mom.
Yeah.
And we weren't drinking there. And we were like, dude, your mom's not going to let us drink at their house. So let's just fucking get drunk and hang out in your room. And so we got drunk and literally
They were
drank it
definitely
and
having sex.
drove. I mean, it was like I got pulled over 10 minutes after my first drink. So I was not drunk yet. But by the time they're doing all this field sobriety and processing,
like-
I was like, yeah, like a 0.18 or something. So I was well on my way, but I wasn't yet. But that's not this story.
Yeah.
On this
So
one,
this time in Dallas, you get pulled over
so I get pulled over.
and you're not drunk,
I was a little bit.
but you do.
I was a
Okay,
little bit
again,
toasty.
this guy
So, yeah.
loves to drink and drive.
Not anymore. Let me be very clear. If any police listen to this podcast and see me on the road, I do not drink and drive now. I'm very adamantly do not
Yeah.
drink and drive. Jail is like, it'll really make you a change. Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
jail.
I guess the justice system works.
Well, I do know where to get PCP now. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
But
most
yes, I
important
do
part.
not drink and drive, and I've learned that lesson.
so how did they not smell an ounce of weed coming out of your
So here's
It
the.
just wasn't that good dank.
Yeah, this was before medical was legal, like
Will
anywhere.
drinks and that shitty weed?
Yeah, we're talking like 2015.
Okay.
You know,
How old were you in 2015?
I was 24, 25, maybe 24.
Okay.
And so here's the story. Me and a buddy were out drinking, and we get to his house, and we were still a little bit drunk. So the story gets a little bit. We were so stupid. We get to his house, and we were like really drunk, and we were like, hey, let's go to my house and smoke. Why we didn't want to smoke at his house? No idea. We were like, my house seems like a better place to smoke. So he had just bought an ounce of
vibes.
weed. Yeah, and we on the way out, we got a little bit distracted because it turns out he had 2 lightsabers.
There we go.
And we were like, fuck yeah, let's play lightsaber wars. And so we played lightsaber wars. And then we were like, we don't want the lightsaber war to end. So we brought the lightsabers too.
oh, my
Perfect.
God.
So we go in my car, and I'm driving, and I take a right on red, totally legal, and cop cars immediately just lights go on. So I pull in his parking garage.
He's like, I took a ride on red at 70 miles an hour and crossed into 3
Yeah.
lanes
I
of
was
Oscar
drunk and
Mayer.
had an
Yeah.
ounce of weed. I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, turns out you're supposed to stop first. So
Turns out if the walk sign is on, you're supposed to yield. I didn't
yeah,
know.
and if there's a car coming, you're supposed to let them go, which is apparently why the police were upset. So this lady, you know, it's a lady cop, pulls me over, and
It's always
my
a woman.
buddy, yeah. Well, my buddy was in the car, and he's like, "Fuck, dude, I got like an ounce of weed, like right here. We're gonna be in so much trouble." And he was like, "I gotta go."
You're like,
I
that
gotta
goes up your ass right now.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how big your butthole's feeling, but that's a
But-
big bag. So, and so the cop gets in there. Swear to God, what a terrible friend. He just goes, "Hey, ma'am, I wasn't driving, so can I just walk home?" And she goes,
No way.
"Yeah." She goes, "Sure." And my friend fucking dipped on me, bro.
I can't.
Just dipped.
Did he
Did
take
he leave the
or-
weed?
He did take the weed because he was like, both of us are gonna get in so much more trouble, and he left.
Holy shit, that
But
was
he
so
left
funny.
the lightsaber, and drunk me not thinking ahead of things. I was like, "Oh, hang on, Grant, you forgot your lightsaber." And the police was like, "Do what?" And I said, "He forgot his lightsaber."
Also, my balls itch.
That was later.
Yeah.
So she's like,
Damn.
"Yeah," and she was like, "Have you been drinking?" And I gave her the
said
like
little.
I had. What'd you say?
A little.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I had like 2 beers," you know. Yeah.
You should have been like, why? You trying to go out?
Buy me dinner first.
Oh, dude, if I was smoother, I would have totally done it.
Why,
She
yeah?
would have been
Cop?
like, yeah, I should have been like, yeah, we can go on a date right to county. you know?
Yeah.
so she's like, have you been drinking? I was like, I had 2 beers. And she was like,
That's always
okay, I totally believe you.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, are you want to take a breathalyzer? I was like, nope. And she was like, well, would you take a field sobriety test? And I was feeling pretty confident. And I was like, yeah, I'll take a field sobriety test. Because also, I have the best excuse. I played soccer and I've sprained my ankles so many times that you say yes to the field sobriety test. And then they say, is there anything that would prevent you from being able to balance on one leg? And you're like, yeah, I've got really bad ankles.
Okay.
That didn't work when I got arrested and did the DUI. Yeah. But in my mind at the time, I was like, I'm going to crush this. So I get out of the car and she's like, okay, we're going to start. She had a buddy with her. And so I'm standing outside the car waiting. And my balls were just getting really itchy, like really itchy. But it was also like, I didn't want this cop to think I had something in my pocket that I was about to pull on her. You hear horror stories about that. And so she was looking at me and she was about to turn to talk to her person. And I was like, ma'am, I've got a question. And she was just like, hang on 1 second, and turns around. And I was like, oh God. And it itched so bad that I finally was just like, hand in my pocket. And I was just like, scratching, man.
Just
scratching.
Jerking that, dude.
I was, dude. It was so itchy, man. And dude, I was doing I was doing the pinch and roll. I was doing whatever
That's
it took.
a good one.
Whatever it took
What
to
is
get
the
this
pinch
itch
and
out.
roll?
It's
So if your balls are itchy and sweaty and they happen to be kind of like just not sitting right or stuck to your leg, itching is hard because there's liquid in the sack, so
there's nothing against it. It just moves in.
You can't create.
So you do like a
pinch the skin and you just roll it together.
Does that not hurt?
No.
It feels good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you getting that itch. All of a sudden, I'm feeling one right now. I'm like, oh.
You know what's funny is my girlfriend's asked me the same questions, and she's made me demonstrate, and then she's like, "That's how you itch your ball." I'm like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess there's just not that many. I don't know, because you pinch me like that anywhere else, and be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you thinking?" On my balls, just be like, "What a great favor of you to do for me."
Thank you for this kindness.
Yeah. So that's the pinch and roll.
This is educational.
Yeah. And it's just so easy.
Yeah.
And it can be a little more discreet.
How do you itch your labia?
Same with
Dude, you should try pinch and roll.
just roll it up like a little joint down there.
So
Like, who wants to smoke?
So this cop,
you're itching your balls through your pocket.
I was itching my balls from my pocket because I'm a classy man. I wasn't gonna put my hand all the way in my pants, you know. So I was like, she'll definitely think I got something in there, you know. And so I just did it without permission.
He's
which
like,
I
I take pants off 6th grade women, not myself.
I'm never gonna live that down now.
Sorry, I'm
We're gonna be public in the comedy club, and Cody's gonna be like, "Hey, everybody,
hide your little kids."
I know y'all think Will's a good dude, but
He's gonna be on a clean show, and I'm gonna be like, "Will, what about
Talk
this
about the
one?
DUI.
What about this one?"
gonna be waiting in line after the show. I'm hanging out with the headliner, and you're gonna. Did you know this guy does that? Headliner's gonna be like, "I don't want him on the rest of my shows."
And then I'm like, "Finally, I get a spot." Sorry, I'm done interrupting. Go
No, you're good. That's what we're doing here. So this cop, she's talking to him, finally turns around, and she was like, "What were you gonna say to me?" And I had already done it at that point, and I was just like, "Oh, no, nothing. I wasn't gonna say anything." I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's nothing." She's like, "No, I actually need to know what you're gonna say to me." I was like, I don't think you're gonna care." And she was like, "No, you have to tell me."
Oh my God.
And so I just was like, I just swallowed, and I was like, looked her in the eyes. I was like, "Well, I was gonna ask if I could scratch my balls." And she was just like, "What?" And then I was like, "I was afraid you were thinking I was gonna be pulling a gun." And I was just like, "Only scratching my balls." And she was like, "If you have an itchy area, you can scratch it." And I was like, I'm doing this for you."
Yeah. You're like, "Okay, you go for it." She's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
Not like that.
Yeah, not like that.
Not like that. Yeah, so
Wow.
so
you got to scratch.
Yeah, so she did laugh, and I was like, I think I definitely curried some favor there because
you
she
go.
thinks I'm fucking hilarious, which is, is point 1 for Will.
Yeah.
Actually, that's point 2 because she thought the Jedi lightsaber thing was pretty goddamn funny.
There we
too.
go.
I was like, all right.
There we go.
And so
So you have 2 funny points.
2 funny
minus
points.
1 sobriety points.
Yeah. I don't know. And so she gives me the sobriety test, and she's like doing all of this, and she was like, makes you balance on 1 foot, and she was like, "Your balance isn't that great." And I was like, "Weak ankles." Yeah. And she was like, "Okay, well, you said you've only had a couple," and I was like, "Yeah, I've only had a couple." And she's like, "All right, go ahead and go. You're good to go." And I was like, seriously?
Wow.
She goes, yeah, you're good. And I was like, okay, have a good night.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got in my car and I scratched my
home?
balls and I was like, good job, Will.
You peeled out in the left lane.
Yeah. I got home and I played with that lightsaber. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever like call your friend and you were like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. I did. I was like, Grant, you're a son of a bitch, man.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what I was thinking is, you know, if we were caught with weed in the car, we would both be in trouble and I could not, you know, be in trouble. And I was like, you would have been in trouble for the weed, not me. And he was like, yeah, exactly. And I was like,
my
dude,
God.
what a fucker. And he was like, I'll give you a free eighth of weed. And I was like, I'm not happy about it, but I will accept. You know?
That's good. That's a good
so
trade.
funny. Man, thank you guys for doing the show. That was final thought. Yeah,
Final thought.
Yeah, final thought on the
Yeah,
story.
just to be very clear, don't drink and drive. Just don't do it.
Unless you're good at it like Will.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, don't
that's
drink
a
and
good-
drive. If all else fails, try humor.
I love how all of your stories are wild and they end with you being like, no, I learned a lot from this. I've grown as a person. I don't want to go to jail. I don't pants. I don't drink and drive.
Dude, I mean, I try to. Sometimes
You try to drink and drive?
No, I can't say anything around you guys. I mean, I think I try to, like, when I experience something, I try to be
Yeah.
like, what can I take from this?
Yeah.
And then just one of the things that I live by, just in general, I kind of try to be like, where can I find some either bit of positivity or bit of wisdom out of this?
Yeah.
And it helps a lot with like a lot of things. It even helps with your, you know, mind and be like, you know,
Yeah.
someone would be like, well, you look kind of dumb on Instagram. And I'd be like, yeah, but you're still looking at me on Instagram, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I like that because the point of the show is obviously the stories are funny. It's fun for your friends to tell stories and you to riff with them and all that. But underneath it all, I truly believe that sharing stories that we are either embarrassed about or are hilarious or vulnerable in some way creates like a sense of like community.
It does,
Like
yeah.
among all of us. It's like we all feel closer because we shared some silly stories.
Yeah.
So I think that's the fun of the show.
Absolutely. And I love it. And I feel like community is the thing that we lack the most, that we need the most.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot about, there's a book called Sapiens, which I think everyone should read. It's like a brief history of humanity is what it's called. And it starts from like early humans. It's really anthropology and how humans developed. And what I took from it, and I don't know if it's totally the point of the book, but like humans used to live in very tight communities.
Yeah.
And that's how we were successful and how we were like evolutionarily speaking. And now we're very disjointed. Right. And so anytime you can get a chance of making community, that's why like the comedy community means so much. And why you feel so close to these comedians, even if you only see them at open mics, you know what I mean? Or like, and that's why I think it's just so important to do that, because it's so easy not to,
Yeah.
not to be a part of it.
Well said.
But so thank you for creating this community for us, Cody. I've really enjoyed it. So thank you very much
This was
for
a
putting
lot
it
of
together.
fun.
So
You
much
two were
fun.
fantastic.
You were fantastic. This
Such
was
a
great.
fun episode.
Yeah, you're fantastic. You're fantastic. Oh my God.
Everybody's good.
Folks,
Yeah.
this is what Comedic Confessions does to people. Follow the Instagram, comedic.confessions. I think it's on like TikTok and Facebook. Same thing. We'll give updates on the live show. We want to see you there. Until next time.